Fucking hell. Right, yeah. Excuse me. Yeah, welcome to the Friday Waffle. I actually fully expect to be nobody taking part in this because it's 22:37 at night. Oh, we've got one person. Hey, it's 22:37. I am drunk. I don't mind admitting that. I think it's the first time I've done a live stream drunk. I don't think I'm drunk to the point that I'm sort of talking nonsense no more than usual. I was at the pub tonight. I had a text off a mate. It's a neighbour of mine's. It's their son. I've always said hello to him, and we've always Ox. Well, yep, it is late. And we've been saying for like years. You know what it's like since COVID. People meet each other and you say, "Oh yeah, I'll give me your phone number. I'll give you a phone. Yeah, well, what's your number? Yep, great." And then you phone them, so they've got your number, and you all get out, and then you've got no intention of ever getting in touch with them. And it's probably not. It's probably not an intentional thing, but it's. I think as a populace or whatever you want to call it, I think we've become comfortable about being in our own little space, and we don't really reach out to people the same. I think am I right in thinking that that's kind of pretty much where we are?
I would say that's probably right. I mean, at the end of the day, my situation. I don't go out, and all my friends have moved away. But from what I've spoken to on other people, it's exactly the same. People are not meeting up to go to the cinema. They're staying in sort of like little bubbles. Do you remember that word, bubbles?
Bubble, stay in your bubble.
You kind of. So you go to the cinema in a unit, but you won't go with a mate, and then go to the pub afterwards. All of that sort of stuff. I don't think that happens much anymore. So yeah,
I know. So anyway, he takes me. I met up with him. It's my neighbour's son. I met up with him a couple of weeks ago, and he says, "Oh, do you fancy going for a pint?" Yeah, great. I get my text. Yeah, well, and then I went in the house and
how much is a pint? Tell me.
It was fucking expensive. It was £10 and 5 pence for 2 pints, which is quite a lot considering it's. Sorry, Ox is more interested in the fucking boxing. Anyway.
Oh yeah, because it's on in the background. Yeah.
Anyway, we're getting on. Good evening, Steve. We're getting on. What are we talking about? We're talking about me meeting my neighbour's son. Anyway, we said, we'll get out for a pint. Yeah, give me your phone number. Blah 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 blah. And then lo and behold, last night he texts me, says, "Are you still up for that pint tomorrow night?" And I thought, "Aye, yeah, why not?" So I went along to a local pub, and his mum is lovely. She gave us a lift to the pub. Had 4 pints, Belhaven best. Actually, not bad. See these arseholes that go, "Oh, fucking craft beer." They've got the beards, they've got the tattoos, and they drink craft beer. Fuck off. Nothing wrong with Belhaven best. So I had 4 pints of that, and I am slightly drunk. I'm meant to be going to Cooksville tomorrow morning. Whether I do is another thing. So anyway, I thought, you know what? I didn't get a chance to do the Friday Waffle tonight, and I know the thing is, I've already said it. Don't expect a Friday Waffle. If I'm going to do it, great. If I don't do it, then tough. That's the way it goes. But I still kind of still want, like you with your bloody blog. I'm sure you don't. There will be times where, so far you've not missed one. Am I right in thinking you've not missed a blog?
Not missed one. No, not missed one. Do you remember last year, Christmas and New Year fell on those actual days, Christmas Day and New Year's Day, and I still did one on each one of them.
Yeah. Do you feel an obligation to do one?
Sort of, but not that much. It's just that I always said that it was a legacy, and I wanted to do something at the end of the week for my nephews and nieces.
Yeah.
And so I'd record one anyway. But yes, an obligation, because there's a lot of people that have now subscribed. And
with all due respect to your nieces and nephews, in 20 years' time, if they're watching this, You're not going to give a shit whether you didn't do one on the 5th of November,
No,
2024. But you've obviously got an obligation because you've been doing it for such a long time. It's like anything, when you don't miss something. If you're doing something on a regular basis, then you do feel obliged to not do it. And that's, I think you're like that with your blog, aren't you?
Yeah. I tell you what, I get into this mindset, like I'm at work. It's like, it's a routine. Like you're in the army and they say, when you get up, you've got to do your bed, you've got to shine your boots, you've got to get your stuff up, and it just becomes a routine. So on Sunday, when I get up, I just go, what's my routine? Right, my routine is tell mum, stay out of my room, I'm doing a blog. That's the first thing.
Yep.
And the second one is set it all up, record it, and get it out there. And the rest of the day is to yourself. Bang. Mm-hmm. That's all that happens to me on a Sunday morning. What I'm thinking. That's it.
And the thing is, even for me, how I'm just plugging this bloody laptop in, hang on. Even for me, a Friday, I'm like, yay, no work tomorrow, cook school tomorrow in the morning. Hang on, where's the bloody fucking thing in? There we go. There we go. I know I'm drunk. Who gives a shit?
No, it's great. I like this. Carry on.
Acting like a twat more than I normally do. The thing is, it's like, right, I'm off work tomorrow. Great. I've got cook school in the morning. I've got my Friday Waffle to do. It's the Friday Waffle has become part of my life. It's been part of my life for 10 years, which is like a fifth of my life. And I do still stand by, if I've got nothing to talk about, if I'm not feeling it, or in the case of tonight, I was actually wanting to get one done tonight before I went out, and I didn't manage it. And I thought, all right, okay, fuck it, I can't do it. And then I go home for the pub, and I thought, fuck it, I'll do it. Fucking Dale, are you free? You up for a Friday Waffle in like 2 minutes? And you're like, yeah.
Yeah, I'm up. Yeah.
I didn't know if you're in your bed or not, but
no. It's been one of those days where I just explained to you just now that we've had a bad day because we were told that the part that we just had repaired, which was basically just a repair job, has failed again. But the guy's got 3 months warranty on it. So we're hoping it's not going to cost too much, but we've put some money aside just in case, because if it's going to keep going, we might as well just say, look, can you do a new board and give us a discount because you've obviously repaired, what you can with this, and just see what happens. So I've had to put some money aside, but then again, there's a positive to that in the fact that I'm not going to say the story now, but Steve's come to my rescue today. Thank you very much, Steve. I can see you there. You've made my day. It was going bad, and you've really cheered me up. Thank you very much from the bottom of my heart, mate. Cheers. That's all I want to say about that.
So, have you got like cover through British Gas in your boiler at all?
No, we've got basically lots and lots of cover, and the one thing we haven't got is on the gas boiler because we've had that installed now since 1978, and it's not been changed. So really, to be quite honest, you might as well just get a new one. I'll save up, do whatever I've got to do. I'm just concerned about my mother's welfare and heat, so we'll see what happens tomorrow, and then I'll structure something for next year.
Yep. So have you not got any heating at the moment?
No. So we've got these little, these DeLonghi ceramic heaters. They're not the ones that have got they've got a fan. They're not one of those ones that have got those bars that that cost an absolute fortune to heat your room. Those bar fires. It's a ceramic fan heater. I tell you what, you switch it on, shut the door, put it on full blast. 10 minutes later, that room's warm, and you could turn it off. You could turn the heater off. Just keep the door shut, and bang, you're all right.
Your mum's all right then, yeah.
Yeah. So she's gone to bed now. So she's gone to bed now. But I did give her a hot water bottle before she went upstairs.
Yeah. Aye. I must admit, it's got bloody really cold the last couple of weeks, and I've had the heating on. Sorry, I've had the heating off. I usually have it off until about 3 o'clock an hour before I get back for work. But it's time to put the heating on when your daughter phones you and goes, "Dad, can you put the heating on? I'm freezing." I'm like, for fuck's sake, right? I'll give you 17 degrees then. That's off.
17 degrees.
Yeah,
well, that's
yeah.
specific. That's specific.
No. I'm jesting. I've now got the heating on from 9 o'clock in the morning. It comes on at 19.5 degrees, and it just stays like that. As long as you guys are all right, mate. That's the important thing.
Yeah. I'm hoping tomorrow he might just turn around and say, "Look, it's just a stuck thermostat." So that'll be about 20 pence, because there's a little thermostat in your engine.
Yeah.
And it can get stuck. It might be just something as simple as that, because he's obviously altered the board from last time, and he might have just knocked something that basically has just made that stick. Could be something as simple as that. But I have to put some money aside. Do you see what I mean? And I've put I had to go, tonight to the bank, and I just took out instantly 100 quid and put it to one side, and I just know that's 100 quid I ain't got for the rest of the month, and it's Christmas. Shit. That's the worst possible time, because you know what I mean.
Exactly. So I'm just looking at the comments. Craig's saying it's 20 degrees. You can just fuck right off, Craig. That's all I can say, mate.
Yeah. Hello from the Bahamas. Thank you very much, fucking bastard. Yes.
I always thought that Craig Flanagan was a bit of a cunt, but anyway, yeah.
Yeah, well, he's a Commodore 16 owner. What do you expect?
Only joking, mate. Only joking. What was I going to say? I was going to fucking say something. I can't remember what the hell I was going to talk about. I can't remember. Anyway, right. Let's Pico 8.
Yes.
You and I were talking about that just a few minutes ago. I was aware of it, and I didn't really know what it was. Can you explain to the viewers what is Pico 8?
From my perspective, what I know, it was sort of like a front-end programming. From what I understand, it was something where you can program little games, and then when you actually executed it, it made a little game that was standalone. That's what I thought it was.
Yeah,
but
I think from what I gather, I was actually hoping for a better answer than that. To be fair, I'm disappointed with your answer.
Yeah, thanks.
I think Pico 8 is a virtual console. That's what it is. It's a console that only exists in the virtual sense. A guy a couple of years ago, in fact, a year ago probably, he came along and he had this little arcade thing, whatever, and he was playing a game. I don't know what game it was, and I went, "Oh, that's pretty cool." I goes, "What's that?" He goes, "Oh, it's a Pico 8. Oh, I'll need to buy one of them." He went, "No, you don't buy it. It's a virtual." What do you mean virtual console? And yeah, there you go. Steve has just said it exactly as Pico 8 is a fantasy console for making and sharing and playing tiny games and other computer programs. It feels like a regular console, but runs on Windows, Mac, and Linux. It's.
Was I far off then? I said it's like a front end where you can write little games for yourself.
You were way off. You were way off. Anyway, so this Pico 8, love you, Dale. Love you loads.
Yeah,
you know
love you.
I love you, mate. The Pico 8. Bill Harbison was the first person to kind of explain to me what it was, because he was going on about how great it was. And I went, all right, okay. So I bought it, and it was like 15 quid, and I downloaded it on my PC, and then I did nothing with it. And Steve very kindly sent me links to some games which I couldn't figure out how to download, so I just kind of forgotten all about it. Then the little RGB Pow Kiddie RGB 30, which I've bought, which is honestly is the best little bit of hardware I've bought for a long time. I play it constantly. It's got a Pico 8 thing. So I got in touch with Steve and I said, how do I get games for it? So Steve gave me a zip file of like 1,200 games for it.
Wow.
Oh yeah. The Pico 8. I'm assuming it's the same. There's what's it called? There's it runs cartridges or virtual cartridges, and the weird thing is, excuse me, a cartridge image is a PNG file, and it's obviously it's tiny. It's maybe 5K, and it's like a photograph. It's like a picture. You're like, how can that be a cartridge? Once you what was I going to say there? I've completely forgot my train of thought. Anyway, you load the cartridge, and what the fuck was I going to say? I completely forgot where I was coming for this.
Called being a pisshead.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
go on.
Sorry, it's because I'm drunk. There's the the Pico 8 has there's a cartridge called, I can't remember exactly what it's called, and you run that, and it's like an online thing, and you can go to like latest games as long as you've got the Wi-Fi turned on. And with this RGB Pow Kitty thing I've got, it's got Wi-Fi. You click on like you go to like you run this little thing and it says booting cartridge, and then it comes up with latest games, and it'll list like 20 games. It'll be like whatever. It's all random stuff. Then you can do load more. You can go to like all. You can go to favorites, and it's just all these literally thousands of little games that have been written. Now tonight, in fact I started in Discord. I started people probably don't get what I'm trying to get. I called it. You're of a certain age. You remember Pick and Mix.
Yeah.
So I called the discussion Pico Mix. Pick and Mix. Pico Mix 8. So it's called Pico Mix 8. Is it Pico Mix? What's it called again? Pico. What the hell's it called again? Pico 8. Yeah. So it's called Pico Mix 8. And I says, can anybody give me some decent games to play? And Steve listed a few, and then I found a website tonight, and it's got like 50 games. That, I mean, there's Drop Zone, there's Beam Rider, there's Christ, I've completely forgot. There's loads, all arcade conversions, China Miner. There's all these games, and they're all like 2-3K in size, and the Pico, what's it called? I was going to say Pico Mix. Pico 8. It's 180 by 180 pixels, something like that. If
That's
I'm
right.
wrong,
Yeah, it's very, very small.
it's something. Yeah, it's got 16 on-screen colors. But the wonderful thing about it, Doug loves a drunken Alan. Yeah, the wonderful thing about it, it's although it's basic, it's got the grunt behind it, so it's able to do games that you wouldn't normally expect, and because it's got the vibrancy of the colors, means that the games look beautiful. I mean, I've not played it on the PC.
Yeah.
From what I gather, all you do is you load up Pico 8, and then you quite literally drag the little PNG file across, and then it boots the cartridge and it plays it. So I've been running it on this Pow Kitty RGB 30, and it's beautiful, absolutely beautiful.
Yeah. I looked at it as sort of like, what if the Commodore 64 had a draw command? Right, because it was crap at basic, right? If you wanted to draw something, it was peek, poke, and all this sort of stuff, right?
Yeah.
But if it had a draw command, it'd make Elite really well, wouldn't it? Because you could say draw between these two lines, and Elite would be really, really good. Pico, from what I could see, is very much like set in its 8-bit ways, but it's got all this extra gloss, like voxels and effects and stuff that's like modern. So it's sort of like, wow, wouldn't it have been good if your Commodore 64 was able to do voxel graphics? You know what I mean? And it's like, yeah, look at this now. Look at Phoenix now. Look at Berserk now. It's like, whoa.
It's really, the games are beautiful. They really are. I mean, I was putting like Drop Zone and all these games, China Man. I'm thinking, why would I want to play it on this when I can just play it in the original? But it's beautiful. It's kind of got the vibrancy of like Spectrum colors, so it's really bright and gaudy, and it's just it's lovely. It's like it's literally like a new console. So this little handheld that I've got, it runs everything from Atari 2600 right up to Dreamcast. But I haven't even played any of these. It's all about the Pico 8 thing.
Go watch the video, folks. He brought it up last week.
Yeah,
Sorry, far away.
Doug's asking, can you lend me a few quid till next? Yeah, whatever, Doug. I'll send you 50 quid, mate. Just send me a detail. I'll send that across. Not a problem. Get honestly,
Alan's bank.
But no, honestly, the Pico 8 it's a thing that I was aware of, but I didn't really fully understand what it was. But I'm loving it, absolutely loving it. And well, I'm going to tell you, yep, Steve very kindly gifted you Pico 8 for your PC, mate, and you're in for a treat. It's beautiful. It's a
That was
completely
a
new thing.
secret between you and I, you bastard. But
It
yes,
was, yeah.
Steve has been an absolute god and gifted me that, and that's why I was going, thanks so much, Steve. You really helped me. Because my God, when you know that there are people out there that will do things like that, you just feel totally humbled. And I can't wait. Now I've got to try and find all those games, and I'm behind with them, like I've always been behind.
Well, go on to the Pico Mix 8
Yeah, and
Discord.
I'll have a look.
I've put a link to where you can get. I think there's about 50 games, your drop zones and all that kind of stuff. There's even a Berserk, which is fucking fantastic. It's great. There's Defender, there's Stargate, there's even a bloody Robotron. Though, you know, I'm gonna tell you something which I think was like, what? There was Steve sent me a link to a number of games a couple of weeks ago, and one of them, most of the games, 99% of the games are completely free to download. Now, just to let you, I'll tell you, this is just for you, Del. When you go to the Pico 8 like website, if you see the link to it, at the bottom it'll say like China Miner, and then at the bottom it'll say Cart, CART, right. And it'll be a tiny little red icon. What you do, because I contacted Steve. I said, I haven't a fucking clue how to download these games. I've no idea. How do you download them? You click where it says cart, you click in the cart, and then it opens up a little window, and it'll have like China Miner, and it's like you'll see the picture of China Miner, it'll say PNG. All you do is get the mouse in it and you drag it across. You drag it across, so then you've then got a PNG file that's got a little image. It'll say China Miner. It'll have like a little picture of China Miner. Not all of the games have pictures, but most of them do. So that's how you do it. And then all you do is you drag that. So when you open up your Pico 8, what you want to do is you want to make it so that it's not full screen. So it's a kind of window. Yeah. Just drag the China Miner thing across, and it'll say booting cartridge, and then the game starts up.
I'm not gonna have crazy cat people start calling me or anything like this. Am I?
I can't. I'm taking the Fifth Amendment on that, man. I can't. What the fuck is he all about? I mean, this guy must have a list of names, and every time he gets booted off the channel, he scores it out. Right, today I'm going to be called Wayne 123. I mean, I can't remember what he was called. It was something completely random. And he says, "Can you play China Miner?" I says, "Sorry, mate, it's whatever it is, blah 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 stream." And then he went again, "Play China Miner," and you went, "It's not that stream. It's such and such a stream." And then I think he did it a third time. And I went, "They'll just."
Yeah. That was the point where it went, you know, because I heard you say next time that happens, and that's me drawing my trigger on my mouse. It's like, right, okay, I'm looking now. And then it was coming up, and he went, "Please, and that was it." I went, boom, 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 boom. There he's off.
The thing is, he wasn't even nice. He demands stuff. You're like, fuck off. Yeah. Honest to goodness. All right, you talk for a second, man. I'm just drinking my tea.
I can talk about anything. I'll tell you what. I've been playing a few games, but I've been playing them on my Meta Free.
Oh yeah,
I played today Resident Evil 4 VR, and I played Red Matter 2. And Red Matter 2, oh my God, what a game. Jesus Christ, that's a game. That is what I call really high resolution. Oh my God, what have they done type thing. You know, when you were telling me about what was it? Half-Life Alex. You said, "Oh, you were really taken aback when you connected this up."
Yeah.
They told me that the best game that you could show off your Meta 3 was this game called Red Matter 2, but not everybody will like this type of game. What a game! Oh, no, it's a great game, but the textures, they're so high, it's unbelievable. No, that shows it off.
Yeah, I must admit.
I've bought it. I'll put that on. I'm going to put that on my Oculus 2, and then I'll have a little look, because obviously it recognizes that you've got two different headsets, and it will, and the graphics will be of a lower. And I'm going to have a look and see what the difference is between the two. Because I tell you what, that stunned me when I saw Red Matter 2. My God. Anyway, that's my little bit.
So what you? So see, when you're watching films, then what do you use for films?
Well, I mean, you know me, I watch films mostly on my TV with my surround sound. But if I want to watch a 3D film, or, you know, if I knew some people that I wanted to invent the big screen, you know what big screen is. If I wanted to have somebody come in and sit on my couch, I'd use big screen, and I'd watch. Well, what do you want to watch, mate? Because you can stream whatever you want off of your PC onto that, and other people can watch it as well.
And is it? I mean, you've said it as high resolution, so is it literally like is it like watching a 1080p film on your telly?
Yeah. Then? Oh, yeah. The resolution in each eye is over 1080p. It's 2000 and something, right? For each eye. For each eye.
You've already once I've got money. By the way, my Panasonic DVD, Lee picked it up today. That's my Christmas present.
Oh, right. And
so I gave her some of the money towards it. I paid half of it. So
was it the model that I said?
Aye, the £300 one. Yeah. The one that you recommended. Aye.
The 820B, I think.
So I've got that for my Christmas. So yeah, when I get money together, I'm going to get one of these things. Sorry, Doug is saying, can I ask Dale a question? He always forgets to answer.
Oh, do I?
You fire away, Doug. There you go.
What do I? Yeah, can I ask Adele a question? What do I think of colorized black and white films? Awful for films. For TV, why not? I hate the colorized Laurel and Hardys. Fucking awful.
Yeah.
They don't look right. I don't think they know what the colors were at the time. They're using something called chrono dot technology. What it is, high above the layer of what you see the screen, there is a chart where it keeps color information, even though it wasn't filmed in color. Apparently, it's called chrono dot, and you assign a color to a dot, you know, like a gray, and it will. If you say it's green, it will turn that shade of gray to green. That's how it works, and you get then a picture. It looks bloody awful. Anybody that's seen one of those Laurel and Hardy films, they're wearing green crushed velvet jackets, it would seem, and I'm pretty sure they were wearing like grey hard flannel or something like that, because at the time they were in a recession. There was no fucking way were they wearing flannel. So yeah, bloody awful. But then there's a lot of TV programs that used to be filmed in color, but they've only got the black and white print left, and I don't mind that, because because then you've got the whole. Say it was a 6 mini series or something, and the first episode is in black and white. You've now got all 6 in color, but you've still got the black and white one if you want it. You know what I mean? And then I go, well, what's the problem? But filming black and white and turning it color, no. God, I'm a bit of a purist snob.
Yeah, I know you sent me a link to a Laurel and Hardy box set, which I bought, which is great. But I was in CEX or Sex, as Eva says it's pronounced.
Yes, Sex.
And I saw that. You see it at the top.
Yeah, the large one. Yeah,
that's the one I got that for 18 quid, and it's got like 21 DVDs. And yeah, it's got the color ones, and I'm not interested. I'm not
bloody awful. Don't skip.
Yeah. That was a quick. So the Yamo, excellent. Hello everyone. It's been a while. I've been sick, had awful pneumonia, and then ended up getting gallbladder surgery. Bloody hell, mate.
Oh,
yeah, a lot of people have been ill. Lee's been ill for about 6 weeks. She's actually been getting bloody tablets. So she's got a chest infection. I think there's a lot of illness kicking about at the moment, unfortunately. I was going to. What was I talking about? I was talking about Pico 8. Steve sent me a link to some games, and one of the games is a Scramble, which was a Stern arcade game. You know what Scramble is.
Yeah.
And I went. Most of the games are free to download. You know, completely free. This one is it through Itchy, whatever it is. It's you can
Oh
pay
yeah,
money.
ITCA itch. Yeah,
Yeah. So I went to download it, and it's like make a donation, and it was like £2, £4, £8, and I thought, wait a minute, I've just downloaded like 10 games completely for free. You're wanting money? Fuck it, I'll give you £1. So I changed it to £1, paid it. It came off my PayPal. I'm like, where's the link to download it? I've not got anything. And then I noticed somebody else had said, I've just paid the money, and there's no link. Then the guy came back and says, yeah, the game is no longer available for download, so the link is just a donation to the programmer. I'm like, what the
Christ.
fuck would I give somebody money just for, I think you're a nice bloke.
You can imagine you can imagine if every programmer from 1981 that wrote a basic program that they put on cassette went, right, please buy my game or something, and it was just the programmer just wrote it, it's no longer available anymore, it's just a donation link for my work in 1981. Oh, cheers.
You're making a donation to this guy, and you can't actually get his game. I'm like, fuck off. So anyway, to be fair, the guy did refund my my £1, which was fine. I'm not a fan of colorizing black and white films as a whole. I'd rather watch Alice or Sim. That's got to be the best Christmas Carol. That and the Muppets Christmas Carol are my two favourite Christmas carols. What's your go-to Christmas Carol, Endell?
Oh yeah, I mean, my go-to Christmas Carol is Bill Murray's Scrooged, but
that is good as well.
But if you are talking old school, it's one of two, and that is Alistair Sim's Christmas Carol or the Muppets Christmas Carol, because you can't beat a bit of Michael Caine and a load of Muppets. Right. So if we're talking just Christmas Carol, yeah, those are the ones that I watch. Yeah. And I don't mind any of those. I'll watch.
So at what point do you when do you sort of acknowledge Christmas?
When do I acknowledge Christmas? Usually about the week before, because it's like I've got to wind up what I'm doing at work. It's shit. I've got to. It's the weekend before Christmas, so I've got to go and get my mum a present out. I suppose I should acknowledge Christmas when my mum turns around and says, "Go up into the attic and get the Christmas tree down," because that's that's the moment. I do not acknowledge Christmas by the shops, because I tell you what, I saw Celebrations and Hero tubs in Sainsbury's in July. No word of a lie. I saw those tubs coming out at £5.50 like they are every bloody year in July, and I went, stop that, because I mean they'll be putting the Easter eggs out in the last week of December. So
this is the thing. You're an old bastard like me, slightly younger, and correct me if I'm wrong, but Christmas was the birthdays and Christmases was the only time as a child growing up in the 70s where you kind of got presents, you got toys, whatever, or you got chocolate. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to say that I was hard done by, but my mum would buy me sweets, whatever. But my mum didn't buy me toys just. Oh, I want a toy, I'll get you a toy. It was Christmases and birthdays, and Christmases. Things like,
you've gone muted. I think you've gone muted. Not me. Is it me? speak for me? I've lost volume. I'm just putting in the room who can hear me, and I'm talking. Can anybody hear me? Can anybody hear Alan? Right. You have a problem, Alan. Right. So what Steve is saying is he can hear me talk, but he can't hear you talk. So your mic's cut out.
Hang on.
There you go. You're back.
What?
You're back.
I'm back.
Yeah.
That there is a little device that has like mute, turn it on and off.
Yeah.
And my arm was resting on it, but it didn't show. Right, hang on. I'm going to press it again. Where is it? Right. I'm going to count to 10, but I'm going to press it after 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Yeah, I could hear 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You didn't
Right,
need
I
to
don't.
talk.
I don't know. It's weird. All I can think of is maybe there's a break in the cable.
Yeah, possibly. I mean, you know full well that we've got our mutes on here on the pucks for those headsets.
Maybe thanks for sending it up, mate. That's appreciated. I'll get that. I'm going to start using that again.
At the current rate, that's your second one in 3 years, and I've got 5 left. So I think we're good until about 2030. 2036, say somewhere around there. So all right,
we're back. By the way, folks, we'll probably draw this to a close at an hour's time. I think that's more than plenty.
Yeah.
But yeah, getting back to Christmas, back as a kid growing up in the sort of 70s and 80s, we didn't get chocolate constantly. We didn't get crisps and all that kind of stuff. So things like Terry's Chocolate Orange and Big Tubs of Quality Street, these were strictly reserved for like Christmas time, whereas now they're just like constant.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, back in the day, if I was to think about when did I think it was Christmas back in the day, I think it was the first time I saw tinsel up at Woolworths. Then I knew it was Christmas. Because they didn't start too early from what I can remember. I think it was pretty much like November they'd put the tinsel out. And then there would be all suddenly the adverts, the Woolworths adverts, which then was great because my sister wanted her hi-fi and I wanted my Vectrex, which I was never going to get. And then there was all the pick and mix, and they had the proper 2 kilogram quality street tins. I mean, we're talking 2 kilo tins, which every year turned into cake tins for my nan. She would every year she'd say, "Give us those tins because I want to put cakes in there."
You never flung out tins. You kept the tins. Good evening, Ross. Yep, I'm late tonight because I came back for the pub and I am slightly tipsy. But anyway, Christmas. It was. We quite simply didn't get the same sort of stuff.
Yeah.
What else? Think of something to talk about. My mind's just gone completely blank. Is there anything else?
We've been talking about Christmas and all that sort of stuff. I don't know. I mean, tell me, what's the most stunning thing then on this Pal Kitty? Because when you showed me the video, the thing that I was highly excited about was the Game and Watch. Over everything that you showed off, the Game and Watch was the thing that excited me, and yet I never had a Game and Watch. Now, why would that be, do you think? Because is it because I've seen all the other emulators before?
I think
it's something like that.
Yeah. The problem, it's not a problem, but there are so many of these little mini handhelds, and it's not even handhelds. You can play, like RetroArch has pretty much made it simple for you can play all these systems, whether it's on PC, whether it's Raspberry Pi, whether it's on an Android device, whether it's on your phone, whether it's on this, whatever. The RGB, I mean, it's I've got the Steam Deck, which is wonderful. I've got other Android devices which are great. This RGB thing, I mean, you can get it for 60 quid. It's the screen in it is beautiful. You when you take the SD card, it's got two SD cards. One is like the operating system. The second one is like the ROMs. When you take that out and put it into a card reader, it just comes up with Commodore 64, Atari ST, blah blah blah. It's got about 50 different folders, and even like the Amiga, all you do is I dragged, the Mister hard disk image that we use.
Yeah.
I dragged that into the Amiga folder, and it works. It just fucking works. It uses, I think it's Emulation Station, but it uses RetroArch, and it uses things like, like for MAME, is it MAME 2003, whatever it is.
It had an unusual front end because you showed it off, and it was called G's something or other.
It's or Jelly or something. It's
Jelly,
something like that. But it just works. And good evening, Dave. How you? Hope you're well, buddy. When I made that video, I hadn't touched the SD card. That was what came with the SD card. What I'm now recommending to people is don't buy the one with the SD card. Don't bother with an SD card because they give you some cheapo unknown make. Stick a 128 SD card in it and just bang all your own ROMs. It's so simple to play. Everything just works. There's no fucking about with things. I mean, it does the Dreamcast. I think I even did a Sega Saturn. I was playing bloody Radiant Silver Gun, and it plays great. But yeah, the Game and Watch. It looks like, you remember, like the Amazon Kindle. It's got that kind of paper look to it. You load up, like, I don't know, whatever it is, Mole or something, or Tennis, or not Tennis, whatever it is. You load up one of the Game and Watch, and it's like, this could be an original Game and Watch. It's got the same size. It's beautiful, and for a budget console, it's incredible how much these things have come down in price. And the Pico 8 is just like, it's taking it to the next level for me. It's bloody awesome. There's so many games, but it just works. You can put individual filters. You can make like the Game Boy look like a Game Boy. You can change things, and it's phenomenal. I would honestly recommend anyone that's interested in gaming, go and get yourself one of these things. It's great when you're getting ready to go to your bed, just before you go to sleep. Have a quick go of fucking Rolling Thunder, fire up Rolling Thunder.
And I've got one last question for you, and it's going to stem from what I'm just about to say. That is in that same video. The nostalgia boy in me loved when you put Astro Wars on there. Right, you were going, here's Astro Wars, and you went,
brilliant.
And look, you can zoom in. It's just like watching it now. And then you can come back out. And you can still play it with the outside chat right now. So this leads to my question. Right, I don't think I've ever asked you this question.
Dale, can I need to go for a quick piss.
Yes, go on.
Because I've had a few beers. I'll be back in 2 ticks. You keep the folks entertained. Like, Dale's going to sing a song or something. Take it away, mate.
I'm on. Gonna start singing a song. You got another fucking thing coming. I'll read out what people have put. Evening, Alan, Dallin, and all. Thank you very much. By the way, Doug, apologies. I don't know why I'm missing your comments. You'll have to explain to me what's going on there. Charlie Farr, evening, Alan. Yeah, evening. It's Friday. You should be streaming. Back on Sunday. I've streamed so much this month. I need to get caught up with you, Charlie. I must admit, I haven't watched anything since the first week of November, but I've had a bad month. Let's see what else. Don't you sing a Christmas song, you bastard? No, I've bloody well not. I can't even sing a Pogue song. And wasn't it a shame to hear about Steve from the Pogues dying? That was such a sad. That's such a sad day. I'm glad he's back. We've all agreed that you're going to sing the Fairy Tale of New York, Alan. So we've all had a vote.
I can't sing, honestly. Right? Yeah. Right.
So
Anyway,
I had a question for you, and that is that you've always talked about your favorite year when it comes to gaming, and possibly your favorite film when it comes to like TV and films. But I don't think I've ever asked you what was your favorite Christmas? What year was your favorite Christmas? And why? Now, it might be because you got the chopper bike or a grifter bike or something like that. I don't know, right?
But you've just answered my answer.
Oh,
your
shit.
question. I mean, Christmas for me. When I was at the pub tonight, the guy that my mate that was with, we had similar. He's considerably younger than me, but he had the same sort of upbringing with his mum and dad, and he didn't get an awful lot for Christmas, but what he did get, it was excellent, and I was the same. I mean, if I'm trying to remember memorable Christmases, I mean, the two that spring to mind was, I used to, like everybody from the 70s, you would get the what do you call it? You would get the Case catalogue, or what was other catalogues? Littlewoods. And there was some other
Littlewoods,
one. Yeah, my mum got K's, so you would get the catalogue, and it was like summer, spring, which was dull because
but hang on a minute. What is it about those catalogues that when you opened it opened up the bra page?
That's because you were always opening it.
No, I'm sorry, but no, and I was not looking because I wanted the toy section. But as soon as I opened it up, bloody breasts in front of me, and I'm going, "What the?" Now, this happened even at a very early age. There's something about those catalogs. So anyway, carry on. I just needed to get that out of the system because...
yeah, so but let's call it the spring and summer, we weren't interested in. But then when the autumn winter one came out, you're like, wow, straight to the toy page, and there was like maybe 50 pages of toys. And I didn't go to the point of like circling things, but I used to like look at things and I'd say to my mom, oh, I'd really like that. And I would there was always toys that I would look at, and even though you knew you'd never ever get one. And the two memorable Christmases that I had my Christmases during the 80s and 70s were brilliant. I mean, I didn't get a lot. One of my mates, we would look at the catalogue, and you would say, right, I wouldn't mind that, and there's maybe 10 things that you would love. I would get 2 things, he would get the 10 of them. Right. He would always get spoiled. But Evel Knievel, that was, I could still remember the box. The box was like, it was tall. It was big.
Tall it was.
It was quite a tall box, yeah, and it had the red, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah,
it was like
the wind up was sideways up to the top, and the action figure was on the top with a piece of cardboard that separated the top from the bottom like that. If I remember rightly, and I can't remember if it had a handle at the top. I don't think it did. It was just a square box.
Yeah, and obviously, you had the Evel Knievel himself. He was one of these, and it was probably banned now, but he had like the little Evel Knievel suit on, and he was made of rubber, and he had like wire that went through him, so whatever way you bent his leg, it would stay, and you could never get him to stay in the bike. He was just like, oh, he could never get him to like hold on properly, and he had the wee helmet, whatever. Where am I going with this? Anyway, Evel Knievel, but the best Christmas present, bar none, and probably for that reason, the best Christmas was when I got my metallic red grifter.
Yeah.
That was just, oh man, I wish I still had it. It was a thing of beauty. I remember, like everybody back then, you got up at 2:00 in the morning, you'd run downstairs and, oh, Santa's not been. And then you go back down an hour, oh, he's not been yet. And then you go back, Mum, Christmas, Santa Claus has been. And I just remember my mum putting the Christmas lights on, and lit up was this
How
big.
old were you then? Were you 8, 9, 10? What?
Christ, when did the grifter come out? I got it when it kind of came. I got it on release. I don't know when it came out. Must have been bloody 1975, 78,
Right.
75.
So
I don't know.
you're 7 or 8
I
then,
was
I
about I
suppose.
was about 8, maybe 8, 9, 10 year old, something like that.
Yeah,
And
great.
yeah, I mean, and of course, as soon as it got to about 9 o'clock in the morning, I went right across to Derek's house. Oh, what did you get for Christmas? And he got the Rally Commando, which was
Right,
like
yeah.
orange, and he saw my grifter, and he wanted to go use my grifter, so I let him ride about in my grifter that on Christmas Day, and he wanted my grifter.
Yeah.
Alan is well old, you cheeky bastard. What the hell are you talking about? Oh, you're talking about the grifter. To be fair, I am quite old.
He's a
Uh,
right old bastard.
Bastard. Okay, hell. So it have to be that way a minute, right? What's Doug saying? Back in 1982, why on earth wasn't Burger Time picked up as a promotional and advertising that? 1982. Yeah, I don't know why. That was an interesting point. Yeah, I suppose the game came out. They released the game, and then I suppose McDonald's would have to look at that and go, "Wait a minute, we could kind of have a."
Well, I suppose like anything, and I might be totally off par here. It might have been written abroad where Burger King and McDonald's was still in their infancy, like in Japan and China. I don't know because I'm not sure whether it was written by a North American programmer that was co-writing it with Taito or with Namco or whoever. So
Yeah.
you would think that they would go, look, we're writing this game and it's a bit like this. Do you want to put your advertisement in it? Because advertisement was in games, but I
I
don't know
know.
why that one wasn't.
I mean, I suppose you could sort of say, well, why wasn't Burger Time sponsored by McDonald's? Well, why wasn't, I don't know, Super Sprint sponsored by Ferrari? There was look. I mean, if I'm being perfectly honest with you, my opinion is these big like conglomerates or whatever it is, video games never got any real credibility. Video games were
Uh,
looked at as a sort of a fad that was going to disappear. So it was only probably, I don't know, I reckon probably when the PlayStation era came along, PlayStation came along, suddenly they were credible. They were putting PlayStations into like nightclubs and people would play Wipeout and all that kind of bollocks. But up until that point, McDonald's would, if somebody says to, the owner of McDonald's, oh, there's this video game in a pub called Burger Time. Do you want to make it McDonald's Burger Time? They were like, why would we want to sponsor
well,
something that's just a
I know,
fad?
I know. Tapper was a disaster for it, wasn't
Mm.
it? Because they had to take them all and change them to root beer, didn't they? Because they thought you can't sell beer.
Yeah.
So, the kiddies are playing this, so they had to turn all the graphics into something called root beer, didn't they, and all this sort of stuff. So
Mm.
I dare say that's another reason is that it can really kick you up the arse if you get it wrong.
Yeah. I do think, I mean, Pac-Man would have been the obvious answer for like Pizza Hut Pac-Man, but I honestly think that was the reason, because video games were looked upon as a fad. It was a passing fad, so why would these big companies want to put their name to something like that? Because I mean, was there any actual sponsorship in these really early games that you can think
For
of?
the home releases, yes, but for the arcades, I can't think of that many. You see, that's the thing.
Well, even home releases, what ones you thinking of?
Oh, even if you watch, even if you put Daley Thompson's decathlon on, it had John Menzies and scoreboards and everything going along in the 100 meters. W.H. Smith.
Aye, so there was advertising, but there wasn't really, like, you didn't have, I don't know, Ferrari F1 racing game, blah 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 blah.
No, yeah.
Yeah. I don't think. I mean, obviously, well, not even Mr. Wimpy with Ocean, that was kind of done. Yeah, I think it was just because they thought that these things are shit, because people never took video games seriously until probably the PlayStation came along.
Yeah.
In
Yeah,
my
I'd say,
in,
yeah.
in my opinion, right? Here's a quick question from Country Roadus. In the decade or so you've been doing YouTube, how have you seen the retro gaming scene on Tube evolve? I don't think it's evolved. I think it's actually got worse. There are so many channels out there now that are doing this. Yeah,
would you say there was a big jump around COVID?
I'm not too sure, mate.
Or was it already on the rise? Well, it's just that everybody was staying stuck at home. Everybody's got a webcam. So do you think there was a big jump in the retro gaming scene on YouTube because everybody was stuck inside and decided, right, I'm going to create my own YouTube channel just as a
Possibly.
laugh?
I don't know. I don't have any facts or figures. That's probably you're probably right. That probably did. There probably is a lot more people that started doing videos. But yeah, I mean, there's when I click on like my YouTube channel and it comes up with all these videos, there's so many channels out there now doing retro gaming stuff. To the point I'm like, it takes something pretty special for me to kind of pique my interest. Has it evolved? I don't think. How has it evolved? No, I don't think it's evolved in the slightest. I think there's too much now, and it used to be when I first started, it was, especially in the UK, it was kind of a community. People did give shout outs, people did mention other channels. People did like questions for the community, and people would answer it. That's all disappeared. And I don't mind saying it. I'm gonna say it. There's big YouTubers in the UK. They know I exist. They know I know that they know who I am. Not one of these people says, "Oh, by the way, this guy is doing a 12-hour live stream." Forget the fact it's going to, it's helping him, whatever. It's for charity. Even forgetting for the fact it's for charity. It's like, fucking hell, wait a minute. Look at this. This video is going to have this guy. It's going to have John Hare. It's going to have Martin Brown. It's going to have Sean. It's got fucking Jeff Minter. You show me. I would bet my mortgage on it. I would ask anybody to go into YouTube right now and bring up a video that's got more people. It doesn't exist.
No, I'd agree.
We collectively got a fucking great bunch of people and put out a fantastic video, and it's not because you and I were talking. It's because these are people we all look up to and go, fucking hell, these guys are legends. And I'm stupidly proud. If I'm gonna, it's the only video that I've downloaded on my computer. So if YouTube went tits up, I can say, there you go. This, to my grandkids, look at this. This is what your granddad did. They'll not know any of these people, but I'm stupidly proud of it. But not one of these videos. The only channel, the big channel that actually, I don't know if they mentioned it, but he came on and they gave me some money, was Dan Wood from the Retro Hour podcast.
Retro Hour, yeah.
Which was great. Not one of them. Slopes Game Room, Kim Justice, Larry Bundy Jr., Nostalgia Nerd. They didn't mention it. Even, I'm going to call out RMC. I was watching a video a couple of weeks ago, and he made a mention about somebody doing some charity video. Never mentioned me. He knows.
Yeah, I was surprised about RMC because I knew about Holly. Because I knew about Holly, I thought Holly would have mentioned it to him, and he would have gone, "Yeah, okay, I'll say something or whatever."
I don't know. I just think when I was talking to George Cropper, aka Funky Spectrum, he was saying that all these big YouTubers, although they like to sort of like, they all like to sort of like they're a wee clique. they're all out for each other. They're all out just for themselves.
Yeah.
I mean, there you go. There's Country Road. This is pretty much said it there. What I'm thinking, dude, it's all about themselves, and I just think it's fucking disappointing when you know, me, you, and a group of other people put a lot of fucking hard work in. Plus, we had all these people giving up their time to come in and talk and entertain people, and yet all these supposed YouTuber, retro gaming YouTubers, they couldn't even mention it.
Yeah.
Disappointing.
You know, I'm always disappointed by it because I've always turned around and said that it doesn't take 2 minutes to write your description about your YouTube that week and just have at the bottom. And by the way, why don't you visit some of my friends' sites? And I've always had a link all the time to these ones, and I go, this is because there's fucking good content here.
Yeah.
Go watch it. I don't put Slopes and Kim's and all of that there because they don't know me and I don't know them. But at the end of the day, I'll always put the others, and they'll forever be there.
You know, I think maybe, I don't know, maybe Slopes Game Room thinks if he promotes Nostalgia Nerd, then he's going to lose money because people are going to go and go, oh, I'm going to give this guy.
Because of the sponsor bit.
Yeah.
Okay,
Maybe. I don't know. You and I make fuck all out of YouTube.
That's right.
In fact, I actually make fuck all. And the reason is because to get money from YouTube, you need to have a Google AdSense account, which I've got, but for some reason it's not working, and I've not had a penny from YouTube for about a year. If I did get it, it'd be like £7-8 a month.
Yeah,
which is fuck all.
I think the same thing that's happened to you has happened to Kim Justice, because for the first time I saw one of her videos this week, and it's about Data East. Can't remember right? And her title for her show, it used to have the big BBC logo. It used to go, which was the old BBC VHS, right? And now it's literally 2 seconds of that tune, and it just says Kim's. And I reckon she's gone through the whole of her back catalogue and she's had to shorten it because they've said that's copyright BBC. And you ain't going to make a penny until you start. And I've got a funny feeling that because you haven't gone through your back catalogue, deleting all of that stuff, they're not paying you a penny. And I've got a funny feeling they're expecting everybody on YouTube that's got, doesn't matter how many thousands of videos you've got to, if they mention one tune, you've got to edit it out of every video before they start giving you money. If that's true, that's awful. That's awful.
Yeah. When I put out any video, I mean, my Friday Waffle, I use music which my mate wrote. It was him that played the guitar in it.
Yeah.
And the little intro, the outro was taken from some app that offers free thing. I still it'll come up restricted monetization,
because they've sold that whole catalog to another company, and because you never gave them a penny, they're turning around and saying, right, you can't use it then. That's what that is.
Yeah.
And I think it's bloody awful, because that means at a whim, anybody that's using anything, you can't guarantee that you're not going to have to pay for something later on, because anybody could sell something. Oh yeah, have my whole back catalog, I'll give it to you, I'm retiring. And then all of a sudden, all of these thousands of people that bought stuff have now got to pay somebody else to use it, because they've all got the same message coming up.
Yeah. So no, to answer that question, I mean, is it evolved? Evolve to me would normally be something that's good. Something gets better. It evolves. I wouldn't say is devolved a word? Goes back.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Is it devolved? Has it diversified? Yes. Has it inspired? I think you'll find that bedrooms and from bedrooms to billions wouldn't have probably got made without the advance of YouTube talking about the retro scene. So it probably has inspired that, but apart from that, it's not an evolving thing. It's a information thing with entertainment values, and there's very little originality now compared to there was 8 years ago. Say 8 years ago, I would have said there was a lot more originality because it was new. It was newer. Now we've run out of ideas, so now it's whatever you can get.
Yeah, and then you get guys like Swifto.
yeah, Swifto keeps reinventing himself. He's brilliant.
He's fucking honestly. I mean, I recorded. I was on his channel a couple of weeks ago, so you'll get to see that eventually. It's a podcast, but you get guys like him. I mean, he did that. I don't know if you watched his latest video. He's hosting a quiz show, and it's he's the host, and the 4 participants are him. There's like stupid, it's like ridiculously confident Swifto. There's depressive Swifto. There's aggressive Swifto, and there's like completely uninterested Swifto. And he's going right. Depressive Swifto, what do you think about that? Oh, I think that's a lot of shite. And he's arguing. It's like, this guy's fucking brilliant. I mean, and you look at his videos and he gets like 4 views. And then you look at other stuff. Top Hat Gamer, he puts out, regurgitates the same shit. The fucking 10 Dreamcast games that should never have been made, and it gets like 80,000 views. It's like there's something fucking wrong, you know.
He is absolutely brilliant. I have seen that one, but it reminded me of Benny Hill, who did that in the black and white days of BBC, where he was doing a music program. You know, what was it called? Not Top of the Pops. It was before Top of the Pops, where you review a record. And they had Benny Hill as a main compere, and then he was all of the people as well that was thumbing it up, whether it was a good song or not. And it was all Benny Hill characters.
Jukebox Jury.
Yeah. Benny Hill did a black and white version of that. Now, the best version I've seen of Swifto is where he was actually reviewing something he'd already done. And he was asking his former self whether he thought it was any good or not. Now that was funny. He said, I'm going to ask my previous self whether I thought this was any good. No, I thought it was fucking shit at the time I was doing it. That was good.
He's actually given me an idea. I'm thinking of doing a nice and nasty where Mainmeister asks Mainmeister to name. So that's
what do you think? What are you asking me for, you bastard? What do you mean, you bastard? When you should call me that? It'd be an hour of swearing.
So that's You know, that's the perfect example. There's Swifto. He gets fuck all views, and then you get people who just regurgitate the same shit over and over again.
You've got to do that podcast, but you've got to have 2 people. You've got to have pissed Mainmeister and sober Mainmeister. And his Mainmeister asks pissed Mainmeister, what do you think of this? What game are you going to have on this desert island? Don't know. Where's the fucking rum? That's what I want to
know. Dear. Well, it's Charlie Farr saying, sorry. It's the same on Twitch. All the streamers I love get low numbers, and you see a channel swing first, and it gets hundreds. Yeah, it's But no, to answer your question, has it evolved? No, I don't think so. I think the market has actually become quite stale. There's been a lot of talk in the last couple of weeks. That do you remember the £1.5 million Super Mario cartridge?
Yeah.
Sold, and apparently that very same cartridge sold recently for like, I don't know, something like £40,000.
Yeah, that same channel that we talked about literally 10 minutes ago advertised the fact that the bubble had burst. And he was mentioning as well that all the cartridges have diminished by about 95%. All of the ones that were fantastic value have now dropped. Still thousands of pounds, but they've dropped like 95%. You know, what was 2 million is now 2,500, whatever it is. Yeah.
Which is good, because it's fucking ridiculous. I mean, a copy of Tomb Raider went for like £400,000.
It was the things that I couldn't believe, you know, like every SNES came out with Super Mario World, but a boxed version of Super Mario World in pristine, or we've measured it and it's got no crumples, no colour, suddenly worth 2 million or whatever it is. I'm going, fuck off. I could get Super Mario World tomorrow on eBay. Right, it's the same bleeding game. There's no code deficiency or anything. Just because the box is pristine, bollocks.
Yeah.
I believe a word of it.
Yeah, what they reckon was, we'll take for example, I've got that game. You give me 2 million quid for it. It then says, oh, this game sold for 2 million. I then give you £1.5 million back again.
Yeah, that's it.
It's just as Ox says, fools in their money, So anyway, listen, folks, it's an hour and 10 minutes. I think I'm going to
bedtime.
Yeah, you've had your waffle. I'm going to go for a lie down now. So listen, thank you very much to everyone that's tuned in tonight. I do appreciate it, and biggest thanks is to yourself, Craig, for coming along at short notices. You're probably pretty. You're used to that by now, mate.
super fun. Always a pleasure, and I'm looking forward to Pissed Up Mainmeister on Christmas Eve doing his special Christmas Eve doing his special Christmas Eve that he does every year with his friend. I've forgotten his name. Sorry.
Lawn Boys Post. Yeah, he'll be along. Yeah,
so I'll be looking forward to that every year, like we always do. So
good stuff.
Looking forward to it.
As always, guys, go and check out Dell's. Quickly, Dell, what's your website? Stick it in your.
It's there. Look, Del Boy 3K1 Retro Zone. There you are. Look, it's all in my name.
All right, go and check it. If you don't subscribe to this guy, go and check him out. If you think he's shit, then don't subscribe. If you think he's good, he's a great guy. Love him to bits, mate. Go and subscribe to him. Support him.
Thank you so much.
That's and as always, folks, thank you very much for watching. Have a great weekend. I'll be back on Sunday. Cheers, guys.
Cheers.